y'all. Fanatics back at you. Here we go. We got big man Josh in the middle, Chuck on the end, John over here. We're gonna get started with last week's picks and hits and misses.
I don't know about you guys, but one of the ones I definitely want to cover is a surprise. You figure Seattle, with the way that they played Denver, you thought that they may do something, but then they lay a complete goose egg with San Fran. That's what I want to mention. I mean, and of course, obviously, there is a tale of two lances to talk about.
It literally was that.
And obviously, he got back, into playing good football, which they're going to need to do if they're going to move forward.
I'm going to say this. If Chuck has always seen something in Trey Lance that I had not seen until that game. That game right there showed me what he can be or what he's supposed to be. But he's still up and down as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. So he's up and down. Well, you have to understand that he's adjusting to the NFL. These guys are faster, stronger, and better. So it's going to take some time. And we forget that back in the day, I would say about 10, 15 years ago, you developed a quarterback along the way. He just wasn't off the back
thrown in.
good.
Now they all being thrown to the
Because if you really want to, Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre. Same thing with Tom Brady. He sat behind Drew Bledsoe. And guess what? They're the top leaders or they're the legendary guys in the game. Yep. So I would rather sit behind a quarterback, take my paces, do all this, and then be great.
So what I'm looking at is if that's the case, then these quarterbacks' lifespan ain't going to be that long.
All right. And, and speaking of San Fran, maybe we should give our friend Kendall a call.
Oh, yeah. Let's hit Kendall up real quick. This is a San Francisco 49er super fan. Y'all seen him on the show before. Let's welcome him back in.
Yeah, it's been a good minute. And he's up on the north side of Houston. Couldn't be here today.
But he will be in the
Kendall,
next one.
are you there?
Hello.
Hey, Kendall.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
All right, we were just talking about the Frisco Seattle game. What's your take on that?
Were you able to see any of that?
Yeah, I mean, the Trey Lance debacle, if I can mention.
Wow. You talking the negative side, or you talking they won the game, fool?
Oh, yeah, they did. They had to bring my buddy Jimmy back. Jimmy's back, starting quarterback.
No, he's not going to be the starter.
The whole thing about that was I was a little disappointed. Trey got hurt, but it happens. You sign up for that kind of deal. But with Jimmy coming back as starting quarterback, I mean, this puts the 49ers in a whole new different position. I mean, you got to think about it. The whole trading issue, and then the issue about what pay is he going to get if he stays, how much money they got to take off. I mean, it's just about money. But
welcome to Business 101.
They came out on top.
Right.
But you look at it this way. Okay, say Trey's hurt. Jimmy comes in. Jimmy does a good job. They win the game. Is there a quarterback controversy up there in San Francisco?
No, he was back. Okay.
I wouldn't say that, no.
So when Trey's back, Jimmy goes back to the bench?
Yeah.
No, that's not going to happen, I believe.
Well,
that's a quarterback controversy, bro.
No, well, they're going to probably try to trade him still. It's just nobody's biting on Jimmy yet.
Nobody's hurt.
well, nobody's going to pay for Jimmy because remember they signed him for $19 million.
He's been to the Super Bowl. He's been in the playoffs. He's took the grit. He knows the pressure against him. He is hurt prone for sure, but as long as he stays healthy, this team can advance to the playoffs for sure.
But we're
only in week 3.
But is it with Jimmy or is it with Trey Lance?
It's with Jimmy.
Trey Lance is done for the season, so Jimmy's going to make it happen. I mean, back up after him, I'd have to do my notes and homework. But I know they got that ready to go just in case. But let's not talk about it. We don't want to jinx my team.
Hey, but you know what? At least Arizona's taking a little bit of a back step. Rams and San Fran and of course maybe Arizona are the ones that are going to be in the front line for possibly being in the position to win the division. I don't really put too much faith in Seattle right now. So it's a 3-team race right now, and it looks like Rams and San Fran are leading.
Well, when you look at what's the quarterback the Arizona Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray, he put that team on his back for that game.
Yeah, he did.
Jimmy came off the bench and won that game. The Rams are the Rams in that division. Seattle, Geno Smith, I never had high hopes for him when he was a Jet. I don't see anything in Seattle. I really don't. So right now with the old everybody's 1-1, I believe, with the exception of the Rams. They 2-0. It's a toss up still. You get
no Rams. They lost that first game to Buffalo.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. So everybody's 1-1.
Yeah.
So it's a toss up. The Arizona Cardinals get Hopkins back after week 6. Who knows what can happen to these other teams as far as star players? Look at Frisco; they already lost their quarterback. So
Well, no, they gained their quarterback back.
Well, in Chuck's words, they got their quarterback back. But I'm saying it's still a toss up over there early on.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, week 2 in the league, that was quite the games to watch, man. I mean, like you just said, John, for sure, I totally agree. And that the stats are on the board. It was a 1-1 games of the week, wins and losses scenario. Although some teams to be watching, to be a game changer here coming up soon. I mean, as for breakers, deal breakers or makers is going to be, with Dallas. No Dak. You got Cooper Rush doing this thing now. I mean, hey, are they going to be able to hold up
dude, don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Don't bring up Dallas with Cooper Rush thinking they're going to do some things.
Shoot, the people in Dallas are talking about.
That's people in Dallas.
They're talking about Cooper Rush is better than Dak.
Wow.
If you listen to him, I know, right?
Okay.
Now, different one. How about the Bengals?
I watched them. I watched the movie.
What was that, Kendall?
You got to look at the Bengals now. They're Super Bowl contenders. Last season, look what they did. But I mean, so far
they were in
they've
the
got
Super
2
Bowl.
losses.
Chuck and I covered this last week. It looks like Burrow's going to go through that sophomore slump. I mean, there was no film on him, so people didn't know quite how to play him. He did handle the adversity and the pressure well, but now he's going to be asked to do a lot more of the playbook and the schemes, and he's going to be asked to understand a lot more. This is usually where, because of the additional responsibilities, they tend to take a step back. Once he gets used to the game speed again, which probably won't happen until late in the season, then we'll start seeing whether or not he can bounce back. Some quarterbacks never bounce back.
And some like Mahomes just keep going. So when you look at, we talked about this a minute ago. When you're looking at that division, the only person that's been on their team for more than 2 years is Jackson, and he's injury prone. I don't think he's played more than one full season since he's been there. And then you look at
that's one of the downsides of a mobile quarterback.
Yeah, it's the playing style that they use.
Yeah.
You look at Joe Burrows. I mean, 1 year you're in the Super Bowl, next year everybody's speculating on you. Yeah. You go to Pittsburgh, Trubisky. I mean, his track record alone says no. Right. But he's right now playing better than what's the guy? Brissett. And if Deshaun Watson's there, it might be a different game. It might not. You don't know because he's joining a different team also.
But anyway, hey Kendall, it's been a few minutes. We need to get wrap up the rest of the segment. But thanks for joining us. And hey, if we can't get you here in person, we'll try to do this again.
Anytime, guys.
I'm gonna come Uber your ass here.
Hey, what do you guys think about Green Bay and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Tampa Bay's winning.
Tampa Bay gonna whoop their ass.
Tampa Bay.
I'm sorry. Aaron Rodgers ain't got nothing over there to throw to, and he ain't what he used to be. Tom Brady's still showing his ass off. So I'm going with Tampa Bay on that one. I'm putting that on paper.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, man.
All right, guys.
We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was our friend Kendall. If you catch some of our shows before, you know who he is.
On that show that shall not be named.
He will be back in the fold. He's on the north side, and but we wish him the best for what he's doing right now. See him soon. Chuck, what you got coming up?
Let's go ahead and talk about the current game.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're currently watching Pittsburgh and Cleveland.
Yep.
Cleveland definitely took an early lead.
Yeah.
Partially due to them just not getting anything working on offense for the Pittsburgh.
That's true.
In true form, this is one of those division rivals that you can't take lightly. They're gonna fight to the end of into the end of the fourth quarter. And
we alluded to this a little earlier when Kendall was on. When you're looking at these two quarterbacks going against each other, their track records don't say much, but the teams they're playing for and the weapons they got out there, I'm thinking Brissett should be playing. It should be way better, way in a more comfortable position than Trubisky.
Well, the thing is, you have to understand, Brissett hasn't been in a system for too long. So every year, it's another system.
Well,
every
same
year,
thing with Trubisky.
No. Trubisky was in Chicago for three, 4 years.
No, yeah, but you're saying, but he's in a new system.
No. You have to Well, that's what I'm saying. Brissett's been in a new system every other year. Trubisky was in Chicago for 3 to 4 years. Then he went to the Bills for 2 to 3 years. See,
I think it was the other way around.
I think
Yeah.
because he just came from Chicago.
But what I'm saying is Trubisky has been there for years.
Well, you say he's been in the league for years.
No. He's been in the same system. Like when he was in Chicago, he was in that system for years. When he went to the Bills, he was there for a year or two. Brissett doesn't stay.
He got
he's
a
like,
chance to get used to
You see what I'm saying? Like I can learn the playbook in 2 years, but I can't learn the playbook in 6 months.
But that goes to both of them because they both are first year players on these teams.
Right. But if you look at Pittsburgh, Trubisky's familiar with Pittsburgh because he was in Chicago.
Yeah, you played against them, not with them.
Right, but who else are you preparing for? You're preparing for your division round, and at the time, Pittsburgh was the top dog.
Well, in Chicago, Pittsburgh was
they're also
not
talking
their
about
rival.
two different divisions.
Yeah, they weren't their rival.
Yeah, they
in,
weren't.
In Chicago, his rival was Green Bay.
I'm sorry.
Green Bay,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Minnesota.
Yeah. Right. I'm thinking AFC. Yeah,
Brissett
sorry.
had AFC. He
Right,
played
right,
against
right.
Pittsburgh more than
But
they
what
than
I'm saying,
Trubisky did.
at the end of the day, Trubisky had a more stable environment than Brissett did. Because remember,
Except for when
Brissett.
him and Cutler was going back.
The only time Brissett had a stable environment,
Dude, Cutler
Cutler was been gone.
Who was the Trubisky?
Do I need to
and
cut you off?
It was
No, who was Trubisky and
Foles.
Okay, Nick Foles.
Nick
When they were
Foles,
going back
yeah.
and forth.
Yes.
Obviously, I need to cut them off early.
Wait. But to make my point, but to make my point, Trubisky had a more stable environment. Brissett, the only time he was stable, he couldn't even say that, was in New England. He was only there for a year or two.
Yeah.
And then he went to was it the Colts?
Yeah, he was with the Colts for a while.
Yeah, for two to 3 more years.
But
Then-
what I'm saying is they both on new teams this year.
Right.
Yes.
They're both learning systems. I thought early on, Brissett was playing he was playing better. It seemed like the Browns got tired.
He's more seasoned than I think.
Yeah.
Right, then Trubisky.
But I think
Trubisky,
it feels like the Browns got tired in the last 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes of the game. Of the first half.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. These are division rivals. They play each other hard. But either way, right now, we're halfway through the third quarter.
And we're still looking at 14-13.
Pittsburgh.
14-13.
And I picked Pittsburgh. I think they're the better the complete team. Even with Trubisky there, I think that they're going to be able to move the ball effectively if they get something going.
Well,
but you can't sleep on Cleveland because they have more offensive weapons.
And I picked Cleveland for that, the offensive weapons. They just not because of Brissett or Trubisky. That was
But this
one reason
very
why
well
I didn't.
could be decided in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, and I think it will be. I really think this is a game that's going to come down to which team is in.
Maybe even a field goal
which
or a
coach
missed
puts
field goal.
which coach puts their team in a position to win the game at the end
Tomlin.
of the game.
Tomlin.
But and I picked Cleveland because they had a more talented roster.
All right.
Tomlin will lead his team. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I didn't pick Steelers.
But we can do the coulda, woulda, shouldas later.
Yeah, we'll do that next
But
season.
right now, we're going to go over just a couple. I know that last week we did a whole rundown of all of the week one, but we're not going to cover all of week two. We already covered the one where we covered the San Francisco-Seattle, and I'm going to go ahead and say, I told you so about last Thursday. It's like, as much as I like the Chargers, as much as I like to think of them as a complete team, we couldn't sleep on Kansas City. What happened? They got tired. Kansas City gave 17 unanswered points, took the lead in late in the third quarter, and then gave up some garbage points so that Chargers could make it look respectable with a final score of 27-24. Kansas City took it at home. Not a shocker.
No, it wasn't.
It
wasn't. I want Hibbert to dethrone Mahomes in that division, but right now it's still Kansas City.
It was in Kansas City. Now, there may be a different outcome in L.A. We'll find out. Another one I don't know. What is going on with these high-scoring games? Miami and Baltimore.
Oh my gosh,
The
that
fix
game
was in, y'all.
Is this college basketball?
It's college something.
I mean, and then
you know what?
And then the Jets 1 point over Cleveland last week.
That was supposed to be a shocker.
And then another one, Washington and Detroit. Detroit won, which I picked. But
I picked
really?
Detroit too. Yeah,
I picked Washington actually.
I picked Detroit.
I picked Washington.
Well, like I said, I'm biased with Detroit because I'm watching Hard Knocks. So, yeah.
Colts are looking really bad losing to Jacksonville.
Well, we did.
And Tampa Bay did their job against New Orleans.
Well, they didn't have a choice.
That was a struggle too for Tom and company.
Yeah, all the way into the third quarter, mid third quarter. Yeah.
What the one thing that I knew was
It's
going to happen?
Kane. Give it time, it takes effect.
But the one thing I knew that was going to happen, Jameis Winston was going to show up, and them turnovers that he did in that third quarter cost them that game.
Yeah, and I think
and
honestly, that's what
people always want to say. Oh, but he's a good quarterback. I don't care if he's a good quarterback. He's still doing the same stuff.
There was 2 interceptions, if I'm not mistaken, late in that
game.
Yeah, it was
some turnovers.
I think
when I said people are gonna say this about James Winston.
So with James Winston, okay. I'm not an advocate for him. I can see why he did the turnover because if you look at where they were at in the game, he had to make a play because Alvin Kamara was not there. This is Mike Thomas's second or third game, and he was just now starting to show up in the game. Like it was just now going. So when you get hyped up, like okay, I'm gonna throw it to him to make. And he kept. The one thing I did say that was all Jameis. He kept throwing it to that rookie, the rookie wide receiver number 12, the one that ended up fumbling at the goal line and gave it back to Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Okay. If the past quarterbacks, Favre, Brady, Manning, all of them tell you one thing. The dude's dropping the ball that many damn times, you probably should not throw it to him again. Not with the game on the line.
And I go back to what I said. Jameis Winston showed up. He does what he always do. He'll play well, and then he'll start throwing interceptions. He'll start turning the ball over. He'll start making mistakes because, like you said, you're throwing to somebody you shouldn't be throwing to. Mm-hmm. You're throwing to double coverage, triple coverage.
Well, the guy wasn't in coverage. I mean, the guy was open.
It's not.
He was open.
That's
he
not
just.
what I'm saying. I'm not talking about the guy. I'm talking about him.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and run down.
If you're going to be a leader, lead.
Let's go ahead and run down some more games here.
Hold on.
Obviously, we kind of have what?
Let me hit one more. The Texans, Chicago. I mean, not
it was Denver.
The Texans, Denver. It was a defensive game. And Denver won that game by a tight end or a wide receiver, or running back. I'm sorry, tight end or a linebacker. He got behind the linebacker. Other than that, the Texans defense, I see a lot of good things.
Oh yeah,
the
you're
offense,
good at Lovie Smith is a defensive
mind.
coach.
Yeah,
but
he's
going
to have that defensive.
But that offense is just, I'm sorry, it's trash.
But you knew what it was.
We knew that
you knew
last year
because there's nobody there.
Without Burkhead, right?
Yeah,
Burkhead.
Without Burkhead,
they didn't hardly play him.
They didn't. Well, yeah, because they've already got this other stud in there. They got the rookie. They're not going to waste Burkhead.
Pierce.
They were trying to hype him up to make him better than what he was.
Right.
Well, and that's probably true. But they've already got a better or semi-decent running back. But they still don't have the offensive line, which is going to hurt the running game because unless you have the offensive line to get those holes, those initial openings, then he has no chance getting to the back.
But also, I want to touch on Davis Mills. He's throwing the ball so high.
Well, once again, we're looking at a sophomore slump.
Right, but the offensive line, if the offensive line is not holding up, he's being rushed. I'm thinking that I don't want to get hit, and I don't want to throw an interception. I don't want the ball. It's going up.
But hey, look,
it's going.
I just want to touch on that one.
And I was going to let you. Was going to do it later. But yes, Houston still got a lot of work to do.
Whole lot.
But at least we're seeing glimpses of that light that might be at the end of the tunnel. Please give Lovie Smith a chance to make something of this.
Not be one and done like his predecessor.
Yeah, I just they're so fire happy over there.
It's
funny.
It's one and done.
I don't know. I'm looking over some of these. Green Bay bounced back against Chicago. And of course I called that. They're not going to drop too many games,
especially to a rivalry team.
No,
two in a row, they're not going to do that.
Aaron Rodgers owns Chicago.
But I do have to say, I'm going to end it with this Monday night, the doubleheader. Buffalo, decisive victory over the Titans. That was just a murder.
I'm trying to figure out what the hell.
That was a slaughter.
I realize the Titans don't have any wide receivers over there. And the key to stopping the Titans has always been stop Henry. Yep. You stop them.
Which they did.
I said you got to make Tannehill beat you.
And they did.
And Tannehill cannot beat. If the Titans don't know it now, they will know it in about 6 weeks. Tannehill cannot beat you.
They know it. The problem was they thought Derrick Henry was going to get open. That's why they kept running the ball.
When the Titans lose to the Texans and the Jaguars, they're going to realize Tannehill's not our quarterback.
All right. And, of course, a surpriser for me, but maybe not for some of you, Philly at home. I guess it really shouldn't have been that big of a surprise. But 24-7, I mean.
Wasn't a surprise for me, though.
I expected a little bit more out of Minnesota.
Hold on. I want to hear about Chuck and his cousin.
Yeah, Chuck, commentary?
So, I still believe in Minnesota, right? I'm sticking by my pick.
Cousin?
Yeah, my first cousin, yeah. My other first cousin, sorry.
Like Daryl and Daryl.
My thing is this. In that game, oh my gosh, you could have ran the ball more. Like, it was a lot more on the table. Like,
Here we go.
it was a lot more left on the table. Like,
Okay, but
oh my god,
and this is typical of the overreaction weekend. We see some stuff that they did well in week 1, but this is a process to really. I mean, we won't really see the cream rising to the top until probably what, week 8,
6, 7, 8.
I'd say week 8 is usually when you
By
start seeing
by
the
6,
separation.
you see who's better in the divisions, but by 8 and 9, you really know who's going to be at the
and then
top.
it's an 8-game stretch to the finish line.
and my only take on my main take on Minnesota, Kirk Cousins, he did what he's done throughout the years is big time stage, moment of truth. You got it. You burn.
Choked.
Well, and when you're looking at a 20, well, not quite 20-point deficit, but definitely three scores.
3 scores. It was
24-7. I mean that. I don't know.
Well, he turned the ball over. Like, he kept trying to force feed Jefferson, who was covered by Slay, which is their top defensive back. And then when he threw, the dude got interceptions on you. Like, chill out. Jefferson's gone. You got Thielen. You got Devin Cook.
How many targets did he throw to Thielen? What, 3?
I think so. Like, it was just like, bro, like,
know.
go somewhere else. Like, or at least just one.
And
Like,
unfortunately, you do see the tendency amongst quarterbacks. If they have a safety blanket, they like to throw it to
them, yeah.
I mean,
their favorite or
for
the one they're most comfortable
I mean, who was Peyton Manning's go-to?
Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne.
Yeah.
Who was Phillip Rivers' go-to?
Antonio Gates.
Antonio Gates.
Yep.
And that was after when Vincent Jackson left.
Vincent Jackson first, and then it was Antonio Gates. Yeah.
And you look at
and then
Tom
Keenan
Brady.
Allen
Tom
later.
Brady was Gronkowski, but before Gronkowski it was Welker. It was all these other guys.
Amendola. All the little
If you
quick
can go,
slants.
you can go like Andre Johnson in the Texans. I mean, that was the best
They
part
always-
for Calvin Johnson in Detroit.
It's whoever they get that rapport with. I think the only quarterback that I could say that evenly distributed the ball was Drew Brees in St. Louis.
Yeah.
But
not
Saints.
saying New Orleans. He threw it to everybody because he had 4 burners out there. He had 4 hands out there.
4 top-notch receivers.
And he was
Drew
probably the only
Brees?
Drew Brees.
In
Drew
New
Brees.
Orleans.
Hold up.
He threw it to Michael Thomas all the time.
No,
there was a
you had
period-
you had
there was quite a few games
Ghost
where
and
he-
all them
he-
guys.
yeah.
But you had what's his name Moore over there. But you look, I go before that the greatest show on turf. The Rams.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Warren.
he had receivers, though.
He had Isaac Bruce on one side,
Torrey Holt
on the other side.
Yep.
You had Hasim. I forgot his last name.
Hashmasada.
Yeah, well, not
Hashman
Hashman.
Sada.
Then you had
name?
he had 4 wide receivers.
He had
with 4
and then he had whatchamacallit, Marshall Falk in the
and
backfield.
and Mark Shafar coming out the
And
back.
and Kurt Warner had another a solid lineup over at the Arizona
Yeah, and
Cardinals.
in Arizona, you got Fitzgerald and all them guys. So
Fitzgerald,
you don't see that on these teams now.
What's his name?
And that's one of the reasons why you don't have dynasties in.
Anquan Bolden, that's what it.
With the free
Anquan Bolden, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, with the free agency market, it basically prices everybody out of doing that.
Yeah.
You unless you have a couple of stars like Brady that are willing to take a pay cut to keep talent, which, to my knowledge, Brady and maybe Breeze are the only 2 that I've heard of.
I've
that
ever
done
heard of done that,
That
yeah.
restructured their deal, and I can't think of another one.
No. But I'll say this here. Here's one thing we did miss about the Miami game. They finally gave Tua some weapons,
Yes, they did.
and look what he did with his weapons. Now, he
Well,
had to come from behind.
hold on now.
He had to
Yeah,
come
I was
from
gonna
behind.
say.
He had to come from behind.
I was gonna
But
say.
he has weapons now, which makes them dangerous. And Buffalo better take notice.
And
Right,
it's
right,
early
but-
enough in the season. My only concern when you get with these high-scoring offenses, their defense, when it comes down to get to the playoffs, you're going to have some defense, at least something.
So Miami right now, Buffalo has a complete defense. Miami, you still struggling to find
but
it.
with the way they're pulling points,
They got to put up the points.
Well,
they
may sneak into one of those wild card spots.
And that's the Thursday night game.
Anyway, unless there's another one you guys want to mention, I think we should wrap it up.
No, we good.
Good.
All right, now I'll be honest with you. This is a season right now. This first
Up and down
2
season.
3 weeks, first 2 weeks going on 3 weeks. It's literally one of those things where we're looking at anybody can still come up out of this and be on the top
It's
in the
still
next
early
4
in the
games.
season.
So
It's
I
still early.
want to touch again on these things we just did on week 7, just to see how many people hurt.
Oh, we're
how many
gonna
people
do
back.
week 4 or 5. We should
Do
reevaluate.
Yeah,
our picks.
reevaluate the picks.
Yeah.
But week 7, you get a lot of players that are suspended back, and also you get a lot of hurt players back.
Yep.
So by then, I think like we said, 7, 8, 9. I think that's gonna be where we start seeing
All right.
this stuff disappear.
What 2 games or 3 games you want to talk about this week?
Is it Dallas and the Bengals?
Dallas.
No, Dallas.
No. not Dallas.
What was it? It's Dallas and the Bengals, ain't it?
No, Dallas is playing the Giants
Giants?
on Monday night.
Oh yeah, the Giants win. Never mind. Sorry, my
Oh
bad.
well, we can talk about that one
I mean,
after Monday night.
Coo-
We have to do
Cooper-
it.
We already mentioned Green Bay and Tampa.
Yeah.
That's a Tampa.
That's Tampa. What else you got on this
Well,
screen?
Rams at Cardinals. Cardinals could pull
See,
that one off.
yeah, you know, with the way the Rams are playing, I don't see the Cardinals doing
I
it.
think
I don't
the-
think they're gonna let him
right.
beat them.
The ones that I'm looking forward to see the results of, not necessarily this big thing. Bengals at the Jets.
Yes.
That should be a good bounce
See
back for
what the-
Burrow.
Yeah.
Jacksonville at the Chargers. Chargers are going to be out for blood.
And Jacksonville is out to prove themselves. That
Yeah.
these games they won.
And just because of what happened this last week, Detroit at Minnesota. I mean,
rivalry game. I'm gonna
division
I'm
rivals.
gonna go against Chuck on this one. I'm gonna take Detroit over Minnesota by 10 points.
Oh, wow.
I still got Minnesota for the year, and I got Houston for the year. So
Wavering.
not wavering. But the game I'm interested in is San Francisco and the Broncos.
Yes,
Denver.
That should be a good one.
Yeah, this should be.
in Mile High.
Yeah,
Because I want to see what Russell can do.
and then whoever Kansas City playing, I want to see
Oh, that's
them.
Colts. They're going to win.
Yeah, don't
Come
waste
on,
your time on
Matt
that.
Ryan. I need you to win. I don't.
Don't waste your time,
I don't
bro.
like.
You're gonna.
Kansas
He's
City.
gonna pick.
I don't.
He's gonna pick the Colts because he cannot pick Kansas City to win a game. He
But,
refuses.
and last one to mention, because this one should be good. It's a division rival. Buffalo at Miami.
That's the one I'm saying.
I picked Miami.
I picked Buffalo just for the defense.
I picked Miami.
I think Buffalo's defense.
Miami is showing that
No matter
they.
what, I mean, it's going to be a good show.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill gonna get at least 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
Guaranteed.
because I don't see anybody on Buffalo that's gonna stop Tyreek Hill.
Still really hasn't changed too much on the Thursday night game.
Yes.
So my last prediction, I think that the Steelers are going to hold off and take this one.
That's only because he picked them to win. I'm gonna still stick with the other
Browns. You're
Team.
going to go
I'm
Browns.
gonna stick with. The
Oh
other
yeah,
teams.
yeah, Browns. Oh yeah.
I'm the only one. So, if that's the case, then sorry, Pittsburgh fans. I'm the reason you lost.
Mike Tomlin's having a losing season this year.
All right.
James.
And all that, we are out.